French Lake on the Wichita Mountains Wildlife Refuge is my favorite small lake in southwestern Oklahoma to go fishing. It's fed by two creeks, Fawn Creek from the south and West Cache Creek from the northwest. It is approximately 30 acres and has a depths ranging from 2 feet all the way up to nearly 20 feet by the dam. The deeper parts of the lake are where the old West Cache Creek ran through where the lake is now. The lake is covered in Brazilian waterweed, which is an invasive species. It has been reported on every lake on the Wichita Mountains Wildlife Refuge. It is commonly mixed up with hydrilla, but it is not hydrilla. The lake is commonly visited by a lot of wildlife, including beaver, elk, buffalo, longhorn, and white-tailed deer. It's not uncommon to have beaver swimming by while you're fishing. It's also not uncommon to see longhorn cattle or elk in the lake bathing. Fish species most sought after in French Lake are largemouth bass, bluegill, and catfish. Personally, I target the largemouth bass in the lake. I've caught anywhere up to 5 pounds and seen catches up to 8 pounds in the lake. With the lake being inundated with Brazilian waterweed, the fishing experience can be similar to that of Florida and southern Texas. The environment changes dramatically throughout the year. With the Brazilian waterweed dying off in the late fall and winter and floating to the surface and clumping up on the banks, and then sinking, and then in the spring sprouting to grow and start the life cycle all over again. With the life cycle of the Brazilian waterweed, the conditions change throughout the year. In the fall and the winter, you can get a little deeper and have faster moving baits and catch a few more bass in different areas. In the spring and summer, the Brazilian waterweed comes back with a vengeance, choking up the more shallow areas. Fishing with frogs can be on fire throughout the entire year, and it can go cold as ice. It just depends on the day you go. I find that fishing with topwater jerk baits and shallow diving crankbaits, square bills, things of that nature tend to pay off the best. You can also get a big payoff by punching the mats with punching rig, drop shots, wacky rigs. Using wacky rigs around the edges of the top water grass where they're into submerged grass. small boats, john boats, canoes, kayaks, anything with electric motor, but no gas motors are allowed on French Lake. The bank fishing is phenomenal, mostly in the winter and early spring. It's easy to get around because the vegetation hasn't grown up too much. In the summer and early fall, the vegetation seems to choke off your access to some places. If you're not having any luck on French Lake, or if it's too windy, you can just keep following Bison Trail down to what they call the Finger Lakes, or also called Fish Lakes, that are between French Lake and Lost Lake. French Lake can be challenging, but most of the time if you take a heavy action rod with a braid and use a frog in the grass, or if you throw a wacky rig on the edge of the top grass where the grass is submerged, you'll probably have a pretty good day. Just be aware there are no facilities at French Lake. The nearest facilities are at Sunset Pool or Lost Lake. For the best experience, arrive early in the morning, just after the sun rises. For one of the biggest fishing challenges of your bank fishing life, you can try to fish from French Lake all the way to Lost Lake, catching at least one fish in each of the bodies of water between. It'll require at least 4 hours, and that's if you're having a good day of fishing. And it's a lot of walking, so you have to be in shape. Don't try it unless you're fully prepared and unless you have somebody waiting for you at the other end. That about wraps up my review of French Lake. If you enjoyed this video and you want to see more like it, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.